This is my analysis of the film Wreck trailer. The use of the dialogue of what sounds like a police report or police conversation phone call immediately intrigues the audience and places them at the scene of the crime. At the moment, there is no footage being shown on the screen, it's just a black screen. So this immediately intrigues the audience to find out what is happening, because all the audience are aware of so far is what they can hear, not what they can see. The use of the canted angle creates a sense of disorientation as the audience are trying to work out what's going on, and this has been filmed in what appears to be an abandoned building in which the emergency services have had to break entry, rescue people. At this stage, the audience can establish the relevance of the telephone call at the beginning, because this links into what's been reported and gives the audience insight into what the emergency services have found out in order for them to be there at the scene of the crime. The use of glitch effect for the transition between each scene helps to create tension, because it is unclear to the audience what is being shown, and this therefore engages the audience and intrigues them to find out more. The use of title sequences such as this also engages the audience and increases tension, because the use of declaratives conveys factual information, convincing the audience that this has actually happened and that this is genuine found footage. This is a typical convention of horror trailers and links in with the idea of found footage because it adds an element of realism and makes it more believable. And this also makes the audience question whether it did actually happen and whether it could potentially happen to them. The use of point of view shots is frequently used throughout this trailer and is effective because it immediately places the audience in the scenes of the trailer, making the audience feel involved and a part of what is happening, as if it's actually happening to them there and then. This is a good way to increase tension because the camera movement is quite shaky, which intrigues the audience because they are not prepared for what they're about to witness or anything that they may encounter. Again, the camera movement's quite shaky here, as if the characters are in a rush to get somewhere. This intrigues the audience because it leads them to wonder whether it's the characters that are on their way to somewhere or whether they're trying to escape, running away from someone. The use of the glitch effect is effective and links to the idea of the whole film being filmed by a recording camera, again adding that element of realism, because this has been filmed in more of a documentary style rather than a horror film, and it again makes the audience, it makes it more convincing and makes the audience believe that this is genuine footage and that it actually happened. The frequent use of title sequences again adds that element of realism, and it's short pieces of information so that it keeps the audience engaged, making sure that they don't lose interest. because there is very minimal text being presented on the screen. The use of black in the background also puts the focus on the text, so ensuring that the audience are taking into account the information being shown, which then followed up by the following scenes. The use of high-angle shot allows the audience access to the environment and the atmosphere that the characters are in, and places the audience at the scene of what is happening. Again, a way of engaging the audience and increasing tension, because the use of this particular camera angle restricts the audience view to what is happening, as we can only see what the camera is showing us. The pace of the trailer has suddenly decreased quite dramatically as the characters have stopped running and it's completely silent. All you can hear is the diegetic sound of the characters moving around the room. Again, this allows the audience to feel involved and part of the film through the use of point of view shot. And again, we can only see what the camera shows us. The use of sound effects such as bangs, crashes and screams help to increase tension, because whilst the rest of the trailer is quiet, this again adds an element of realism and is representative of what it would be like if the audience were actually there, representing some of the sounds that the audience would hear. Whereas if music was being played in the background, this might lose the realism to this film, particularly because the style in which this film has been produced. This film is an example of a found footage horror film, and so conventions such as special sound effects and fancy soundtracks are not necessary for this type of subgenre, as this would in fact reduce the tension and the element of realism would be lost. The appearance of the glitch effect is becoming more frequent as the pace of the transitions increases, whilst also subtle sound effects such as a bass drone sound can be heard, as this builds attention in the sense that the characters are getting closer to whatever they are looking for. The sound effects used in this scene are quite simplistic and minimal, alongside the slow pace of the tracking shot helps to build tension, because the audience are unaware of what they're about to encounter and again aren't prepared for the side effects of this encounter. The use of the scream sound effect is effective and increases tension because it contrasts with quite quiet build-up of tension, which allows the audience to then be alerted by this noise and is an example of a jump scare. This is a typical convention that is commonly used across a wide range of horror films, as this is the best way to increase tension quickly, making sure that the audience are engaged and that the desired effect of scaring the audience has been created. The lack of soundtrack in this trailer has now been replaced by the frequent use of the scream sound effect, which again portrays a build-up of tension, allowing the audience to establish that something bad is about to happen, and therefore the intensity is increased, making the audience feel more and more discomfort and unease. The distorted effects of the sound bridge and the glitch effect both contribute to increasing tension, as the trailer is gradually becoming more and more intense, and the audience are kept engaged because they don't know what's going on, and this creates a sense of panic because the audience aren't aware of what's happening, and the use of sound effects make it quite distressing for the audience to try and work out what's happening. The use of the glitch effects towards the end during the montage increases suspense and a sense of panic because the pace of the trailer has increased quite rapidly towards the end, leaving the best parts till the end, whilst also keeping the audience engaged. This is typically used in a wide range of horror trailers because the pace and the tension increases gradually and then quite rapidly towards the end, so that the audience are kept engaged throughout, and this increases a sense of intrigue and anticipation as the audience are unaware of what is about to happen until all is revealed at the end. The use of the montage is effective as well because it's not only does it increase tension, it allows the audience access to short clips of the film without revealing too much of the storyline, whilst also sustaining that level of tension and intensity as the audience are watching it.